Monday night. Just left the commissioners meeting, just got home. Just want to touch base with everybody, let everybody get online as I'm sitting here. I hope everybody's had a good week. Just want to start off with the meeting tonight. It was all over the news about the garage. What's happened? Let's go back here real quick. But first, I want to kind of give y'all some comic relief about what happened tonight. So everybody, there's like a public speaking section. Everybody, they can sign up. It's like 15 minutes of the meeting. People sign up to get 3 minutes apiece. Well, the best part of tonight, which is really sad, but this lady stands up and she's got a concern, reference to the courthouse. In front of the courthouse is a wreath that's displaying the Confederate flags. Now, this is her concern, no big deal, I don't think anyways. I mean, it's some history, Civil War, whatever. Some people like it, some don't. So this lady expresses this, right? So the next person stands up. If many of you don't know, our hospital is about to go through bankruptcy. It's a huge issue in Randolph County. The state's not willing to help us. So in the months to come or so, we may not even have a hospital in Randolph County. So with that being said, all of a sudden, here comes this lady. Her name's Beth Morris. She lives on Adams Farm Road, as she stated. Many may know her. She attacks me a lot. But she stands up. She got on her Trump shirt, which she probably disgraced Trump tonight, unfortunately. She has on her Seabolt for sheriff hat, right? She's meaning business. So she goes up here, right? And she's like, this is my second time ever being at a county commissioners meeting. I came to last month. So the whole time sheriff's election went on, she never went to commissioners meeting or any time she's ever lived in Randolph County, except for when Greg Seabolt spent $84,000 when he was pretty much told not to. All right, so she says, now this lady just talked about the Confederate flag and does it represent our community and all this stuff, right? She says, I'm just a redneck from Randolph County. I'm a Greg Seabolt supporter, and I support him and him doing his garage. Me and my husband met down there in November, and I don't remember everything that was said, but he wants to put oil in cars and change the oil and tars. And I support him for going against and trying to do that and save us some money. And I mean, she just goes like on it, like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously, right? So then she tells here's the best part. She says, if you can save a hospital, you can give $84,000 to a garage, right? And this is really like what's going on. I'm dumbfounded. All right, so she does her speech and she gets off there. So we get to the garage part, all right? So let me give you some background. From 2018 to 2019's budget, from July 1st, 2018 through July 1st, 2019, or the end of June, that budget runs. In that budget period, there was $84,000 that was left over from lapsed salaries. Lapsed salaries is as follows. There was positions that weren't filled that those monies did not pay for. So that leaves him with $84,000. In the 2019 and 2020 budget, from July 1, 2019 through July 1st, 2020, he had requested to start a vehicle maintenance garage at the sheriff's office, okay? Due to priority, he was told no, because we as citizens and taxpayers, landowners, property owners, taxpayers are paying $13 million in detention facility upgrades, and they're adding on, okay? So with that being said, the commissioner said, listen, fleet management issue is not a priority. We're not going to spend the money. We're not going to allow you this in your budget. We will, however, allow you 7 new positions that, we'll add that to the budget. So they give and take, and they do priority. Having men working patrol or in the detention center is priority over trying to save $10 on an oil change. Another factor, okay? If we take the monies and we put them back into the community, taxpayer funds go back into like businesses like Thomas Tire, Joe Schmo's oil change service, wherever they can contract, those monies then come back into the economy, come back into the community, help with jobs, so forth, okay? The biggest thing you got to look at, though, when you take away this contract or take away fleet maintenance from outsiders doing it, is we've assumed the liability as taxpayers. So being, if we don't put a lug nut on right and a deputy crashes a car, or these inmates that will be working on cars try to do something to a car and we lose a deputy's life, heaven forbid he even gets approved for this, or one of these uncertified mechanics such as deputies now going from chasing bad guys to changing tires, don't do something right, okay, we as taxpayers fit that bill. But if Thomas Tire or one of these local businesses that are very reputable do our business and they make a mistake, it falls back on their liability and their insurance and so forth. Y'all follow what I'm saying here? So at the time you take these fleet maintenance away from outside independent businesses to save $10 on an oil change, then we assume a lot of liability, guys, okay? So here we go. So he spends $84,000. He doesn't ask county commissioners. He just takes it because he's got extra funds, and he buys all this equipment. Well, he puts it in a building that's not classified. He violates OSHA regulations, federal and state. He violates building codes, federal or statewide, and county building codes. I mean, he violates all this stuff. So we bring it to the attention of county commissioners. We call OSHA, all this stuff. And it wasn't just me, guys. I never called OSHA. It was other concerned citizens made aware of the situation by staff members of the sheriff's office who were already tired of the corruption. So he spends $84,000. So they find out in the last month that this building was built in 1999 with drug asset forfeiture funds. Since 1999, in like 2010, 2011-ish, somewhere around there, Maynard Reed bought a mobile command unit with asset forfeiture funds. These are what we call drug monies. Yes, taxpayer monies are used to employ deputies in those investigations, and those monies come back to our county 80%, and that's if we don't share funds with another agency. So we bought a mobile command unit, was about $1 million, something right there, over $500,000. So I think it was like $750,000, close to $1 million. Anyways, and then before his death, he had purchased with asset forfeiture funds a Bearcat. So when the building was built, it was built for storage. And there's been in the years probably, they probably put on snow tires on the cars, pull them down there, put snow tires on them, whatever. They probably fixed a striping or two on a car. If somebody's light bar didn't work right, went down there and maybe tried to rewire it, little things. It wasn't run as a garage and all this stuff, okay, like Seabolt's wanting to do. Well, they find out because the two vehicles are there, they've got to build a firewall, 3-hour firewall. We understand that, okay? So to build the upgrades, it's going to cost $52,000 just to bring the building to standard to house both the Bearcat and the mobile command unit. Everybody follow me. All right, this $52,000 is not approving him to use it as a garage. That was not discussed tonight, okay? All right, $380,000. There you go, Jan. So with this said, tonight they questioned him. David Allen, Hope, a lot of them questioned the county commissioner, said, hey, it was built with asset forfeiture funds. It's housing forfeiture fund purchased items. Asset forfeiture funds should be spent to fix the building. So they call Seabolt he comes up to the front of the building, front of the folks here, and he's going to speak, right? Would you allow to spend $52,000 out of your $219,000 asset forfeiture fund balance? He says, well, I'd like to talk to y'all about it, and we agree on something. Well, my question is, as a taxpayer, and that you should be questioning too, the $84,000 that you were told not to spend, pretty much told not to spend, that a fleet maintenance was not a priority, but you spent the monies to create you one anyways. You didn't ask somebody to do that. And actually, you were probably told no for the most part. But now here we are spending. But now when we ask you to spend asset forfeiture funds, you're like, well, let's talk about it. We didn't mind costing the taxpayer funds. So what about drug asset forfeiture funds? I don't think the commissioner should give him an option. We should use asset forfeiture funds to build the building. Like Hope said, County Commissioner Hope, she said it's the only logical thing. It was built with asset forfeiture funds. Yes, it was built. It wasn't built to house something. But again, and then the thing is you spent taxpayer funds with no type of accountability, but then now you want us to come to the table and agree with you on what we should or shouldn't spend of asset forfeiture fund. Well, I think we should pay with asset forfeiture funds to bring that building to standard. On the garage, guys, he's not been approved yet. No approval on that yet, because for one, the building's isn't required to to be able to have a garage yet because of the wall and some other safety issues. $52,000. So now here's what we got. Because he's brought light to this garage, okay, that he wants to build, we've got $84,000 spent. Now we're going to have to spend another $52,000. We're at about $135,000, and we ain't changed the first tire oil yet. You follow what I'm saying here? He said, we're going to save thousands of dollars. But when saving that $1,000, you take monies from our economy, right? Going back into our economy, helping businesses, our mechanic shops, Thomas Tire, whoever, all right? We buy those tires. They buy the same tires we could buy on state bid. You got a little bit of labor costs, whatever. But here's the thing. With the labor costs, the sheriff's office is going to have to hire Jeff Wilhoit did an awesome presentation. We used Terry Story. Now here we go. Okay, we used Terry Story's findings or whatever he thought of the first time. They broke all that down, and you're going to hire about 4 to 5 people, okay? And they've got to be certified mechanics, guys. We can't just, here's the thing. When you turn a deputy and you assign him to work on patrol cars, listen, as a law enforcement in this state, they get a supplement that me and you pay for, all right? And rightfully so, they're law enforcement. They chase bad guys. They risk their life. Totally get it. The only governmental entity in our state that gets the supplement. Probation patrol don't. Firemen don't. Detention workers don't. Clerical workers at the sheriff's office, the police department don't. Sworn law enforcement only in this state as government workers get a supplement that we help pay for. Okay, up to 6.5% a year on their salary to a supplement. All right, I'm law enforcement. I've had it. All right. So, with that being said, so now you take a law enforcement officer, you reclassify him as sheriff's office mechanic or whatever you want to do, uncertified. He's not ASE. He's nothing. They seem to get him a inspection license so he can inspect cars or whatever, so forth, whatever. So long story short, I don't think they should have their supplement. If you want to be a mechanic, then that's what we're going to pay you to do, be a mechanic. We shouldn't pay you a supplement for chasing lug nuts and changing tires or getting oil on your hands. That shouldn't happen. Just like any other mechanic and working for a governmental agency, you shouldn't. And we sure in the hell don't need inmates working on patrol cars, okay? This is, I've had some guy today argue and other people, oh, he didn't say he's going to have inmates working on patrol cars. Fox 8, News 2, the newspaper, everybody has quoted Greg Seabolt saying, or I call him J-Rome. Somebody asked me today, so why do you call him Jerome? It's his middle name? That's a good reason to call him that. That's what his mama called him. That's why I'll call him. So anyways, quoted him saying, well, that shouldn't be concerned, inmates working on patrol cars. Guys, I've never had an inmate work on my patrol car. He's probably washed it. I've pulled into a bay and they've washed the patrol car. We've got video, footage, and we had deputies calling and saying, hey, they are literally working on our cars. They're going to let inmates work on cars. They're letting Todd Blakely, by the way, that Greg Seabolt didn't even know his name, the first county commissioner. He couldn't even say it. Allow these people to work on patrol cars that aren't even certified. We're paying a man $50-some thousand to change oil and tires. Are you kidding me? All right. I worked at a dealership in high school. That was at bare minimum minor preventive maintenance work. You might pay somebody $12.50 an hour, $13. And some people, that's a good living. It's not homeless. It's a decent living to do 6 to 8 lug nuts and change out tires and rotate wheels, okay? But again, you're wanting to pay big money to a man who's supposedly a supervisor to do what? He's uncertified. Like Hope said in the first meeting, I'm not saying you can't change a tire, change oil in your own car, but you're not certified. We assume responsibility and accountability and liable issues when we start allowing people who aren't certified to do things. And you just can't run by the seat of your pants. They questioned him the first time. What are you going to do with the tires? He said, well, I got a friend that will take all the tires and oil and they asked, well, what are you going to do with the Bearcat and the mobile command unit? Well, I got me a supporter down here, put that thing at the barn or whatever. They're like, and Darryl Fry's like, no. Okay? You're telling a man making $95,500. Now, let's go back to this $84,000, okay? To me, and to a lot of people, you're like, oh, Eric, why are you harping on this? Guys, it's the incompetence we're seeing day in and day out. We got good men and women that work at that sheriff's office, and their careers are on hold, or they're scared to say something, and the morale is just beat to the ground. They're going to paint you this pretty picture. That, oh, it's not like that. It's not like that. But I keep bringing you facts. You're hiring criminals. You're hiring people with domestic violence. We're going to talk about the Gigolo Act, or the law, in another live feed. I was going to do that tonight. Gigolo is on hold. I would ask you guys to look up the Gigolo law, especially as victims. If you've been a victim of crime and you got an unkosher deputy that's got criminal history or his personnel history, all this stuff, okay? Again, they, hold on one second. What did Aaron say here? Okay, good job. So, again, we got to look at the history of these deputies. Gigolo Act covers personnel complaints. It covers past criminal history. He's hiring all these people that are incompetent, just as he is. And now we've got victims. You're already a victim of a crime. The last thing you need to be is a victim of the court system because some deputy's got domestic history violence or drug history or whatever. And then all that stuff becomes available to the defense attorneys. And so now district attorneys have what they call gigoloed officers, and it's a foul that officers that they can't prosecute their cases. So you start hiring people that have such history, guys. We got victims that are going to be victimized by our sheriff's office because he lowers his standards. Now listen, under the Constitution, the sheriff has the ultimate say who works for him. You daggone right, and that's fine. But there comes a consequence with that. Just this last week, while J-Rome Seabolts at Key West, Florida, I got a woman down here that's been threatened to be killed and thrown in a lake by a deputy, and she's having to seek refuge out of town, and he's in Key West, Florida. Okay? Well, I mean, did he issue her an emergency concealed weapons permit so she can buy a gun to protect herself? She won't even go to her residence to live in which she can do that. And if that ex parte is issued for another 365, she can live in that house for another year before she may have to move, or they may extend it for another year, depending on how his actions are. He's already, if you read his history, I mean, this is the same guy that come after me as a police officer said I was racist and told everybody on the East Side community in Ashburn I was racist. As he quoted, Eric Hicks is a piece of shit. I think we're seeing who the piece of shit is now. Okay, folks, it's mysterious. All the things I've said for the year and a half I ran against this lying man called Greg Seabolt, it's all coming true. It's all painting a picture. he's got people working for him. He's padding pockets. You don't spend roughly $115,000 to $130,000 to beat a nobody and have all these people working for you without some type of gain. Okay, and they're all getting their pockets padded. On your dollar and my dollar, but y'all won't hold him accountable. He went into churches. He went on TV, on debates on TV. He went into nonprofits and told them anything he could tell them to get them to vote for him. Now look where we're at as a county. We had 600 plus deaths this year in overdoses. All right. He tried to tell them tonight that his office in the last 12 months is taking in $600,000 in drug monies. Well, guys, it can take years. Even Justin Brubaker, at the same time he says this, Justin Brubaker says, we got cases from 2011, 2012 that we even got asset forfeiture funds back on. And not only that, but you've also got to get those funds back that are approved by the feds when you dag the monies and you claim for asset forfeiture funds. How many agencies help? How many agencies are getting part of that 80% of that $600,000? Daryl Fry said, so out of the $600,000 that you're telling we're getting back, we're going to get $480,000 of it. Oh, he says, oh, then he starts backtracking. Oh, well, we'll probably get majority of that. You just told us out of $600,000, we're going to get 80% of it, which is $480,000. We either get it or we're not, Seabolt. You the sheriff, you should know these things. Simply say, hey, we've collectively with other agencies and investigations taken in $600,000. All agencies will partake in that 80% of that. But he can't tell anything without telling a lie. Just tell the truth. Again, let me hit on this $84,000. If I were your sheriff, just as deputies have called me, families of deputies and citizens, if I have a lapsed salary of $84,000, I had rather went to the commissioners, got them to quickly amend the budget and requested I use that $84,000, or I just use the leisures they give me to spend that $84,000 on paying deputies right before Christmas to work overtime, such as retail establishments, patrolling those areas during the evening hours when people are Christmas shopping from Ashboro, Randleman, Ramsor. Call those agencies, say, hey, y'all want some extra patrols? We're going to come in and do them. Or we just assign deputies to those areas and do extra patrols during the holidays. During the day when people are at work and most of your B&Es occur, from that 10 o'clock in the morning to that 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we could have deputies patrolling neighborhoods, paying them time and a half and let them earn extra money for their families. They're making starting pays 34 and some change, 36 after about 6 months or so, $36,000. Y'all do the math on that. Do y'all realize that that's the medium income of any family in Randolph County or citizen is $36,000? They're chasing bad guys and taking people's liberties and putting their lives at risk. But this man's making $150,000 with retirement and his cost or his salary with the agency. You know, you got Andre Azleton, 6-foot golden retriever, making $75,000. He won't fire her for some reason. Another highway patrol buddy's wife. We'll get on that later. Steve Myers, another $70,000. I mean, the list goes on. Paying Terry Van Story, whatever his name is, another $18, $19 an hour. You know, he's patting people's pockets over and over and over. But again, I would have taken those monies, paid these guys overtime, gave them some food that they could eat, make sure they could buy their Christmas for their kids and live a little. But other than that, guys, the garage is still an open topic. Don't let them lie to you. He didn't get approved. He's put out inmates will work. There shouldn't be a concern with inmates working on patrol cars. This, that, and other. We're going to spend $135,000. We ain't changed the first tire oil yet. Yes, the $52,000 is to update the building to house the two apparatuses that are in there. However, I mean, drug money bought it. Drug money can pay for it. Again, y'all have a good night. If you have any questions or want to rebuttal against me, please put a comment. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.